Okay, hey guys, welcome to Spade Gal's Original. I am Master Spins, and I'm trying something new today. I am trying the treadmill, which I have not been on. What? I'm so confused right now. What just happened? It turned off. I didn't do it. Okay, well that was very strange. I have no idea why it turned off. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about my week, and I can turn up the audio if need be. So I'm going to also talk about last week, because not that many interesting things happened this week, and it's going to be some fairly minor, or sometimes very big stuff. So one of the things that happened last week was a test called the SAT, and that pretty much sucked because, it took me the whole entire day to do it. They got the audio test wrong because I have that, so, because I have the IEP and 504, so I have that specifically so that I can just listen to it instead of having a really hard time. And by the way, I haven't been on a treadmill since I was really young, so this is kind of interesting to be back on one. But anyway, sorry, off topic a bit, but they pretty much messed up the whole entire test, which was extremely weird. And I was just like, you know what, not overwhelmed enough, so I'll go back to school tomorrow. It'll be perfectly fine, right? Yeah, no, that didn't happen. That was not okay, because midday in math class, when there was a Marine in the room talking to us about Army, military, Marines, the power just shut itself off. So that kind of sucked. But before I talk about the blackout, I want to talk about something about the Marine. Whenever you asked a question or answered a question, he would get a handful of candy, he'd take one and he'd throw one at you. So that was pretty great. I thought I would be hit for sure. Thankfully I never answered anything and never ended up having to flinch because something was being thrown at me, but whatever, that's all perfectly fine and good. And then after that, we just had the blackout. So we couldn't go to class. The principal told us to stay in the room, so everybody just stayed in the room, did absolutely nothing except for listening to the Marine, and we were like, okay, this is fine, we're perfectly fine, no problem. Well, it was about an hour later, and how they did it for dismissal was they had seniors with cars leave, then 8th graders because of the busing, and then they did regular seniors, so I ended up being able to go. Thing is, my mom ends up working at special ed as a one-on-one, and my sister hadn't been let out yet, so I went to that room, made sure that she and her one-on-one was, or her person that she takes care of, was not stuck on the elevator, and thankfully I did, because they weren't stuck on the elevator, everything was perfectly fine, but it was a pretty crazy day, and they weren't allowed to leave. Even though the students were all gone, the special ed students all gone, they were able to get back home on their buses, and we were just stuck there. 1/3 of the school was lit up, the rest was not whatsoever, which kind of sucked, but everybody had already gone home, gym was dark, so that I wouldn't get overwhelmed too much, I just went in the gym and laid down. Simple as that. And my dad ended up picking us up, which was pretty cool, because the one-on-ones, again, they couldn't leave, even just not get paid and just leave. So that kind of sucked for them. So that was kind of a little brief thought of how that went. And yeah, that's kind of how the series will go, is just me talking about how everything specifically went and, you know, how I handled it. But it might be a little hard starting off because, you know, I'll be talking, walking on a treadmill, fast or slow. And thankfully it does have a timer on here, so I can see that I have been on here for about 5 minutes. So I've been talking for about 5 minutes, which is pretty good for starting off. But honestly, I don't think I'm really gonna probably last that long. So this, the thing that happened this week was people were cutting me off in the hallway, which really sucks. You guys probably know how awful that is when somebody just straight up cuts you off in the hallway, walks in front of you, you have to dead on stop, and it's just like, well, that sucks for the person behind me. They probably really hate me right now. But instead of going around me, the person behind me grabbed my backpack, my locker-filled backpack. I'd show you a visual of me, but I'm on a treadmill. But he grabbed my backpack, yanked me back, and went to my left, just staring at me like this, with like the biggest hatred look. And it's just like, didn't you just see somebody walk in front of me? It was quite terrifying. So I don't know why he did it. He could have said excuse me. He could have just walked around without doing a single thing. It could have been perfectly fine. But instead, he wanted to take matters into his own hands, literally, and yeah, that's what happened there. And then I tried my first ever cheeseburger dog at a gas station, so that tasted pretty cool. I don't really know what else much to say for that, because I can't remember what's really gone on during this week, because I do know last week was really insane, and it's hard to remember certain things when they've passed. Like the whole mailing thing, I will never forget that, because as I've mentioned many times, the thing that I bought on an internet site never came for things. Been trying to look for them, and I just can't find them. And when I do, it's just triple the price, which, you know, as I've said multiple times in this video, just sucks. So, you know, there's that. And yeah, if you are wondering what I meant by the last time I was on a treadmill, was pretty much when I was in this kind of Boy Scout-like group, but it wasn't specifically Boy Scouts in general. But we ended up going to a place called the Y, and it's a pretty big place. You guys probably know, because there's a song about it, and hopefully I don't get sued by mentioning the Y. But I doubt that I will. But we were able to go on the equipment. They let us go on the treadmills and all that. I only went on the treadmills, so that was pretty fun. They had a Segway the one time. I can't remember if I went on the Segway or not. I think I did though, but I might have just been watching, because I do remember Segways or hearing about Segways there. I definitely remember seeing them, and you guys are probably just like, what are you even talking about? Is it Segways? Where did you even go from all of this? And how are you not completely out of breath? Because you sound completely out of breath and out of things to say. But you know what? I'm never out of things to say, because I kind of just fill it with a mumbo-jumbo. And, you know, I have something else random to say, is that I just recently had some nice, beautiful popcorn yesterday when I was trying to take my test, because for the last 2 days, I had to study for a test so that I would not fail my class in this quarter. But I think I'm probably still going to fail anyway, which definitely does suck, because there's nothing, absolutely nothing that I can do about that. There's literally nothing that I can do except for just hope and do as many test retakes, hope that it gets me enough points like it did in math class, and be all good. Yeah. And then I went to the bingo hall yesterday to clean up with my dad, which is why I got the gas station cheese dog, which was, again, pretty good. But there was a cricket in the bingo hall, which I did not know it was a cricket. I was just like, what is this thing? I don't know what it is. It's just a random bug. And I would probably talk about this on a fear video, but I'm going to talk about it now because it's something that recently happened because of the whole cricket thing. But when I was younger, I was just playing video games, like a usual youngling, and I ended up just being bitten by a baby carpenter ant, which that sucked. Just being bitten by a baby carpenter ant and not knowing what the heck it was whatsoever. So, there was that, and you know what? I think I'm getting kind of tired. Whew. Wow, okay. Okay, so I'm probably going to just go back on that, and yeah, that's the end of the video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. It was a test of, treading with spins. So these will progressively get longer and longer as time goes on. And yeah, so I don't know if you can see my face, but I'll see you guys in the next one if this goes well. I don't know, maybe more interesting things will happen. I'll probably get a whole list of things I can talk about, put it by the cam or whatever. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.